Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here. Well, something bad is going down right now between the United States of America and the country of China. Things have gotten so bad between these two powerhouses that even the United Nations chief has come out and said that there is a Cold War brewing between the two nations. Now, why does he say that? Well, I've got so much information to show you, and I believe this is very important to us here, obviously because we're U.S. citizens. But not only that, but we could end up in war with this communist country if things continue to escalate. Now, just as a quick reminder, please get to restrictedrepublic.com. I can't stress this enough. As you know, we are being censored by multiple platforms on multiple areas. And if you want to know what's really going on, you have to start subscribing to these alternative platforms. And by the way, right now, I'm still offering the $20 off the entire first year of Restricted Republic. Use the coupon code 20 and the word off, so the number 20 and the word off to get that discount. But if you really want to know what's going on, you have to subscribe there because we do not censor information on Restricted Republic. All right, so let's dive into what exactly is happening between the United States of America, China, and Taiwan, because all these things are linked. Let's go to this first article here from Vox, an actual leftist radical, a mainstream media news source. But the reason I wanted to bring it up is because they ask a good question. Here it is. Why there's talk about China starting a war with Taiwan. If a war breaks out over Taiwan, Biden may be forced into a decision no American president since 1979 has ever wanted to make. What is he talking about, this decision here that he has to make? Well, obviously, it's the decision of whether we are going to aid and help Taiwan in the event that China goes to straight up war with Taiwan. Are we going to be there for support, or are we going to look a blind eye? Well, Biden hinted at it earlier this year, kind of making a statement that he would support Taiwan. And then, mysteriously, as he made the statement, he backtracked, right? Take a look at this article on theguardian.com. White House backtracks after Biden appears to say that the U.S. would defend Taiwan against China. Administration officials play down president's comment comparing Taiwan commitments to those in NATO, saying that U.S. policy has not shifted. So here we have Joe Biden literally teetering on whether or not there is going to be defense for Taiwan if China is to take them to war. But that said, what you do need to know are tensions are building between Taiwan and China. Take a look at some of these articles here. The first one here is on NBCnews.com. The threat of China invading Taiwan is growing every single day. And then, of course, they add what the U.S. can do to stop it. But the Chinese military has already begun gray zone operations. An all-out attack on Taiwan looms if Beijing continues to escalate. And this is obviously written about a month or so ago in July, but it keeps going, right? Here we have this. This is the nationalpulse.com. By whatever means possible, Chinese communist takeover of Taiwan is imminent, asserts regime flak. The article goes on to state that top advisor to several Chinese Communist Party affiliate think tanks, as well as the New York-based Asian Society, gave a stern warning to those opposing a CCP takeover of Taiwan. He suggested the regime will pursue the policy by, quote, whatever means possible. Speaking with the LBC presenter, Matt Ferry, Victor Gao declared, nothing in the world can stand in way of the unification, he says, of China, adding the goal would be accomplished, though preferably peaceful means. But if not peaceful means whatever means possible, which means, in other words, if they can't accomplish it peacefully, then they're going to do whatever they have to do in order to, have that unification that China wants with Taiwan. In other words, straight up war, if you will, between China and Taiwan. And look, Taiwan doesn't want anything to do with a lot of the policies. They're arresting journalists for speaking against the CCP. They have all the Uyghur Muslims who are being sent to camps. I mean, all this stuff. Falun Gong persecuted, Christians persecuted. This is a communist regime we're talking about here. And they're literally harassing Taiwan. And that's not all, right? They're also putting propaganda in Taiwan. Take a look here at this article on Newsweek. Prepare for war. Chinese military warns in new propaganda poster for Taiwan. And what this article details is basically the Chinese military is releasing a whole flurry of pictures, videos, these kinds of things, posting them up across the country, basically threatening of war between the two. And here's some of the posters here that you can see that they've put up. There's more. Or some of the videos and whatnot, but it's basically just these threats of war. And it's not just that. China is also building their military arsenal. Here we have American military news. China has added powerful new ship to maritime patrol fleet. We also have PLA jets, People Liberation Army, that is, jets will eventually patrol over Taiwan, the Global Times editorial says. And this is very recently, September 13th, 2021. And in response to that, of course, we have Taiwan also. This is also September 13th. Taiwan is beginning a 5-day of war games simulating PLA biochemical attacks on Taiwan. So here you have some cat and mouse stuff going on between the countries. But what I want you to note is they're not only cat and mousing their Taiwan, but they're also going after and making very bold statements. China is against the United States of America, and they're kind of acting on this. Take a look here about what I'm talking about, because they know Biden could make the decision to defend Taiwan, right? We're not sure exactly. I'm not sure whether what he says out of his mouth and what he does are two different things, right? So I'm not going to say whether he's actually going to defend it or not, because we saw what happened with Afghanistan, right? A complete and total chaotic mess, right? So I'm not quite sure that he's actually going to do something. But either way, China is preparing for the potential possibility. Here we have the sun.co.uk. Red fury. China is angry. China threatens Taiwan with immediate war. Amid reports that the U.S. has 30,000 troops in the region as Beijing has started drills for war, these kinds of things preparing. And that was in August, right? But let's go on a little bit further. Here's Breitbart.com. China threatens, as a result of that, to crush U.S. troops in Taiwan. That's a direct threat to the United States of America. Then we have this on zerohedge.com, September 14th, very recent. Chinese warships have also approached Alaska as U.S. Navy increases presence in the South China Sea. No less than 4 People's Liberation Army Navy ships were spotted and shadowed by U.S. vessels off of Alaska's islands, including a guided missile destroyer, a guided missile cruiser, as well as an intelligence gathering vessel and auxiliary ship. They stayed in the international waters, but came within the U.S. exclusive economic zone. In other words, they're sending quiet signals that we're watching you, United States of America. And not only that, but we have this article here on express.co.uk. China is edging closer to war with the United States of America as Xi Jinping, and there's ads all over this thing, sorry. As Xi Jinping loses patience, says former MI6 deputy. China is edging closer to war with the U.S. over Taiwan, according to the former deputy director of MI6, who warned that Beijing is concluding that peaceful efforts are no longer possible. So you could see there's tensions now between the United States of America as well as China. China is flexing their muscles against the U.S. and flexing their muscles, of course, with Taiwan. I think it's a lot more than flexing muscles with Taiwan. I think this is legit. And after seeing the debacle play out with Afghanistan and the United States of America, where the Biden administration leaves our military equipment behind, leaves night vision goggles, guns galore, high-powered guns. Let's just put it very bluntly there. And not just that, but helicopters, Black Hawk helicopters, the whole 9 yards, even money. And then left our people stranded there. And after seeing that the United States of America wasn't up to their word, so to speak, that's really emboldened China. And the mainstream media isn't focused on any of the tensions between the two countries. Instead, they're more worried about, having our military go woke, which is the dumbing down of the U.S. military. We're looking weak to countries like China. They look over at the United States and say, they're playing la-di-da-di videos instead of like, powerful videos, like when you're asking for new people to come in the military. And meanwhile, we're also letting go of any military personnel who doesn't want to get the COVID jab. Now they're forcing them all to leave their duties, their jobs, their line of work, the military. They're all getting kicked out. And this is only going to shrink our U.S. military. The stupidity of some of the stuff that we're dealing with. But anyway, as a result, the United Nations, who I could care less about, they're a globalist organization, but the chief has come out with a stark warning. And here's that warning. United Nations chief, this is on dailymail.co.uk. UN chief warns of brewing Cold War between the US and China and begs the countries to repair completely dysfunctional relationship. How about, I'll get into that in a moment. We need to avoid at all cost a war that would be more dangerous and difficult to manage. How about China stops rounding up people and putting them into camps, and stops their organ harvesting, and stops putting social scores on their people, and stops making churches worship Xi Jinping rather than Jesus and singing hymnals to Xi Jinping? How about that? How about that? But anyway, he is warning of a cold civil war brewing between the countries. But don't worry, Joe Biden used his speech at the UN, right, to say there's no Cold War brewing. That's just BS. Here we have Breitbart.com. Joe Biden signals willingness to work with China and promises there's no Cold War. We're not seeking, say it again, we're not seeking a Cold War or a war divided into rigid blocks, Biden said in a speech that heavily alluded, he didn't say China, but it heavily alluded to issues with China without directly naming the country. Biden's comment addressed concerns voiced by UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres before the assembly, urging China and the U.S. to repair their completely dysfunctional relationship to avoid a Cold War. So there you have it. There you have it, right? So there is absolutely tensions between the United States of America and the communist country of China. And things are brewing and things are getting hot. And I'm going to keep you up to date on all of that. Just so you know what's going on. But a lot of this is on restrictedrepublic.com. So make sure you get on over there and check it out, because I'm keeping you up to date on that platform as well. But anyhow, with that, please don't forget to check out my partner at healthwithlisa.com. If you guys do not get collagen in your diet, I really want to encourage you to try out this collagen, at least try it out. There's a 60-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it and doesn't do what you want, they'll give you your money back. And this is why I really love this product. It's 5 different types of collagen, and it really has helped my hair, my skin, and nails, and all of these things, and it can help you too. But check it out today at healthwithlisa.com, and it's real easy to take. Just put it in your coffee or your shake every single morning. Anyhow, I love all of you. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.